right, thank you. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. This is fielded at the goal line. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their 6'2" QB out of North Carolina, former number 2 overall pick. It's Mitchell Trubisky.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
On first down, Trubisky. And incomplete to open things up. Marcus Wheaton was the one he was looking for. And now it's second down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Second and 10 now. It's Trubisky. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And some room to work. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. Looking to throw, Trubisky on first down. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Defensively, starting lineup for the Bills, and a disruptor on the line, certainly Shaq Lawson.
Loved him during his time at Clemson. Really, really liked him when he played in the national championship game because he wasn't 100%, had gotten hurt in the game before, and found a way back onto the field and made a difference.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Let's go.
Second and 10. It's Trubisky again. And they take him down. The Bills get to him. And the sack parade continues. Remember last week, they had an astounding 8 sacks. Another one there on the opening drive.
And they have the mentality of just attacking the quarterback in the pocket, no matter what. They're one of those teams that says, we play the run.
Trying to get it to Wheaton, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 16, and he will return this one to the 30-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. The first carry now for Joey Josefa. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 10 carries, 76 yards.
And they love what they've got in him. He's the number 4 rusher in the league right now, so you know that you have to account for him on defense, which means you can play complementary football as well. throw the play action, get it out to the wide receivers, because they should have some open space because the defense will key on them.
Here's Taylor. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. He had a little bit of a turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
The Bears offense making their way out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the NFC. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
And it's incomplete.
Well, partner, so much for the mismatch. How about the guy at the second level, that big linebacker, able to run with the receiver and make a play on the football?
10 yards still left on second down.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
A first carry now for Jordan Howard. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football. Extra DB on the field for the Bills here on third down.
Yeah, maybe thinking pass.
All right, here we go.
Here's Trubisky to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And the return stops at the 39-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
The Bills offense coming out, ready to take over. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. So add that tackle for a loss to the 2 that he had a week ago.
And you know what he's doing right now?
Smiling?
Yeah, definitely doing that. But he's also patting his guys on the back, his defensive front, because they're keeping him clean, meaning no one's getting to him as a blocker. He's able to run to the football, and the plays he's making, he's throwing them in the offensive backfield.
They try again with Lewis. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on. The Bears have put an extra defender in the secondary on third down.
Yep, they're in the nickel. From the shotgun, it's Taylor. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up fourth.
He's thrown one interception already, and that doesn't necessarily mean the rest of the game is going to go like that. But it does seem that he's a little bit off in his approach to this one.
Yeah, it does. And that was a risky throw right there.
Got to be careful about taking care of the ball, making sure you get back within yourself. I mean, those mechanics that they work on all the time, they're there for a reason. Kind of get back to those and maybe tamp it down a little bit.
It's just a 30-yard punt that time, no return. And the Bears take over. And this offense led by Mitchell Trubisky going to make their way back out there. Bottom line, he's got to figure things out. He's completed 3 passes, but 2 of them have been to the wrong team so far.
And when we talk about the best quarterbacks, we're usually talking about touchdown to interception ratio, aren't we? And 2 to 1 is acceptable, but the top line guys, 3 to 1 or better is what they're looking for. Now we're talking about interceptions versus completions. That's not a ratio should ever be in any discussion.
The numbers there for Howard a week ago. 18 carries, 64 yards.
They've lost a bunch of games in a row now. They've got to start thinking a little bit differently, maybe a little bit outside of the box. Find other ways to move the football. I don't know if you're going to do it through the air or maybe change up how you establish your run game.
Now it's Trubisky. And this one complete to Marcus Wheaton. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. Trubisky with the give to Howard. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. His throw incomplete. He was looking for Jordan Howard that time. And that'll make it third down. And this passing game, this whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
And he'll be well short of a first down as he stopped again right at the line of scrimmage.
But there's almost no doubt about the play call there on third down and long. You figure they're going to throw the football. I've got to give a little credit to the offense for taking a little bit of a chance there, running the draw, hoping to catch them off guard, but the defense was ready.
O'Donnell, he's on to punt as he gets this one away. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. And now out come the Bills. This is their third drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
Now Taylor on first down. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. A big play here for the Bills. 42 yards.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Now a play fake here on first down. And that is incomplete here.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. Second down and 10. Throwing again. Taylor. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Holmes. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. They'll run it now out of the gun. And the broken tackle helps lead to a first down gain. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs. Again, it's Lewis. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line.
Count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there, because this has been a pretty long drive, and normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, looked like the offensive line let them down a little bit.
Yeah, allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff him for a loss. Taylor will throw. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. It's a gain of 5, and it'll be 4th down. And now the field goal team on for Buffalo. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And his kick here is good. And the Bills will take a 3-0 lead. So 1 quarter in the books on a cold December afternoon. The Bills with the early advantage. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. 2nd quarter about to get underway with the Bills in possession, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. And a short kick, taking it about the 16. Shedding the tackler that gives him some room. He's at the 30. Touchdown, Chicago! Such an electric play, so much fun to watch, and you need all 11 guys in sync for that to be successful, don't you?
Without a doubt. That's teamwork, to be able to put it all together. But that play is really probably the most exciting 10 seconds in football.
Santos on to try the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. And what a job there by all 11 on the kick return. The blocking excellent, the return excellent. The result, 6 points. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Back onto the field now comes the Bills offense. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. A good pickup there at 22.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run, because we envision them in offenses catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. On 1st and 10, it's Taylor. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
On second down, Taylor. He's got Thompson here, complete. And he's brought down. The Bills passing game getting him down the field. They've got another first down. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
Here's Joey Yosafa. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you could see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There was none there for him.
And he's going to be taken down. Back across midfield, just across midfield at the 49.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Third and long. Taylor and company hoping to regroup after the sack.
Here we go.
From the gun, it's Taylor. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Christian Jones. He's the one to get it this time. And back-to-back sacks are going to bring up a fourth down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Here's Colton Schmidt now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. And this is a high kick, but it's not going anywhere. And the punt goes out of bounds. Where will they put it? They'll put it just inside the 45-yard line. Jordan Howard and the rest of the offense heading back out there. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
We often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series so those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Now Trubisky on first down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. This is 3rd and 1, very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. They'll try to run for it with Howard. Now Howard stripped. He lost the football. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's just been looking for some space. You know, I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that
under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
This is Lewis. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Brandon, with the last couple of plays for the offense not being good at all, my thought process as a coordinator, get the ball in the hands of my best player and see if I can salvage anything out of this drive.
Around the NFL, a game going on in Washington. And the Bucs are out to an early lead. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Out of the gun, it's Taylor. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Colton Schmidt now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And they're going to be set up with excellent field position to start the drive as that gets out of bounds inside the 45-yard line. Now the Bills defense, they make their way back out there. And they have the 3 takeaways, but still losing despite the effort that we see on the screen.
And thank goodness for that effort, because without it, they're probably really getting routed at this point. Keeping them in the game as best they can, they've got to increase their proficiency in taking the ball away, because right now they're not getting enough help from the rest of the squad.
On 1st down, they run with Howard. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
On offense, the guy that you want to have the best eyes on the field are your quarterbacks. So you can see everything pre-snap, and then, of course, as the play develops. On defense, oftentimes it's the linebacker. And on this play, his eyes took him right to the ball. Then he made a nice tackle.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs, and they come up on 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's Trubisky. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
All right, here we go.
On third down, this is Howard. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up fourth down. He's fumbled already once, Charles. I'm not going to say that that was in his mind there, but I'm sure that during some of these plays he is mindful of it.
And once you fumble the ball, you know what your team tells you and your coaching staff? Take care of it. Rest of the game. And that does get in your mind a little bit, and sometimes that slows down your effort in trying to get free from tacklers.
And the defenders know it too. They sniff that out, don't they?
Everybody wants to swarm the football. You know what the rule is. First guy hold up the runner. Everyone else try and get there and strip the ball free.
And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense and over the post.
And no doubt one of the most, if not the most exciting play we'll see in this game. The kick return all the way to the end zone for 6 points. And now running right through it. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul searching now.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only the DB's going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. 2nd and 10, it's Taylor again. He'll get this one complete to Zay Jones. The 20, 10, and all the way home for a Bills touchdown. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bills are an extra point away from tying the football game.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field, and that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control, and how about the end result? A touchdown.
And he'll put it through, and that evens us up at 10 apiece. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. So we're right back where we started. All even as the kick's away. It's a short kick, taking it to 15. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. We're back to Soldier Field following this short break. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando with highlights and analysis of this first half of play.
And I'm going to check in with a heater.
I'm going to be right there with you, partner. On second down, Trubisky. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
On third down, Trubisky. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. And now the Bills are going to stop it as they call a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. The Bills getting set to go. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Throwing now, Taylor on first down. And this is incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
Second down here after the incomplete pass. Now Taylor throwing again. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. 3rd and 2, now Taylor. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
Here's Colton Schmidt now as he's on to punt for Buffalo. And now a high kick here as he'll try to hang it up there. Elsewhere, second quarter in D.C. And the Bucs are out to an early lead. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
They'll throw on first down with Trubisky. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
All right, here we go.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Trubisky to the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap, to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green.
Throwing once more, it's Trubisky. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Chicago. So we have reached halftime here in a good one. 10-10 is our score. As we'll send you down to Orlando as we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. As we look at the numbers, the only thing that really matters is that we've got a tie game. We'll have another half here to figure out who can come out on top. All right, let's roll the highlights. Hauska is going to kick it away. Ayer is able to get a running start here, and nobody can stop him on this long touchdown. They're now on top by 4. Bills have it early in the second. Jones is going to get to the quarterback here. This ends up as a huge loss in yardage. Now following the fumble, Porter's got the sack here. This ends up as a huge loss in yardage. With the ball late in the half. Taylor is on point with the throw, and this 2-play drive goes for a touchdown. Score now tied at 10. So that'll do it for us here in Orlando. For the call of the second half, let's hand it back over to Brandon and Charles. Brandon.
It's a short kick, taken at the 15. Oh, now he bowls him over. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. Elsewhere, second quarter in D.C. And now that one really widening up. The Bucs have just scored again. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. Now the quarterback, Tyrod Taylor, is our focus here in this player spotlight. What can they do now, Charles, to make sure this highlight montage doesn't continue to show more pressure and pressure and pressure?
You feel like it always comes back to leverage, don't you? Who is going to win that battle of the offensive and defensive lines? Low man wins. We talk about that, but we think about it in a running game. Well, guess what? The same thing happens when you try.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They'll run it now out of the gun. Runs over it. And that gets back some of what they needed, but they're still stuck here with a 3rd and 13.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
3rd and long, it's Taylor. And he's got room. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Here's Colton Schmidt now as he's on to punt for Buffalo. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break this tie. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Well, pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it. And in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
They run play action for Howard. Now Trubisky. And they take him down. The Bills get to him. Shaq Lawson in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
And that's his second sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
Let's see what they draw up here. 3rd and long following the sack of Trubisky.
Here we go. Green, 39.
Play action. It's Trubisky. He'll wind up being stopped for no gain, and it'll lead to a 4th down. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And now a high kick here as they'll try to cover this one. Pressure comes, and the Bills block it. And that one didn't accomplish a whole lot. It'll be down inside the 35-yard line. So much for pinning him really deep. Short punt could have pinned him inside the 10. Now great field position the other way.
It's never good when you're punting the ball and your eyes see the ball go back behind you.
No.
However form, whether it's over your head or to the side, never good. Now it becomes a race to get to the football so they don't pick it up and take it all the way.
Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. To say they've kept him under wraps running the football, that's an understatement. He's been completely neutralized.
Yeah, they've essentially taken him out of the game, haven't they? And you know all the teams say, we're not going to let him beat us. Well, that's exactly what's happened here. They've lived up to that.
On 2nd down, here's Taylor going underneath for Lewis. Call it a gain of 5, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
So they've been unable to capitalize on the great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9. Taylor now from the gun, he'll throw. And he slides to avoid the hit. 11 yards and a Buffalo 1st down. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. To throw is Taylor, operating from the gun. And that'll be incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
Good, strong run against the 3-4 set. And that 3-4, you've got to have your guys up front eat up a lot of blocks. The guy playing over the center, the nose, he usually has to take on double teams. But when you're able to successfully move him, you're often able to get some yardage, and that's when linebackers have to clean up and make tackles.
The Bills on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up 1st and goal now.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right, he's pretty much been completely neutralized. From the gun, Taylor, and he slings one that's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Andre Holmes that time, and it's 2nd down.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Joey Iosefa, touchdown number 15 on the year. And the Bills have taken the lead.
I know the play ends up in the end zone with one person carrying the ball, but how about that big mass of humanity that guided him to that spot?
Yeah, they got there, but I love the dive. Always a fan of the dive. He's got it as they go up by a total of 17-10. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And the capper that put it in the end zone, a run of 8 yards. Here's Hauschka now to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. And Green with a catch left side. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
They go play action here on 1st down. Now Trubisky lost the football.
On plays like this when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
They go play action with Trubisky. And his throw's going to be incomplete. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
The Bears on 3rd down. It has been a disaster. 0 for 8 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15.
Now, Green 39.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So step off the 5 yards.
Yeah, partner, you know, defensive end, he wants to get into the offensive backfield. He wants that get off to be as fast as possible. A little too quick on that one.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Set. Green, 39.
On third down, it's Howard, and the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Oftentimes when you're not winning at the point of attack for an offensive line, maybe they're getting out physical. Spread things out a little bit, make it more of a one-on-one blocking scheme. Then you don't have to win it physically. You just have to win it by position. That may open things up for your running backs.
Now a high kick, almost a pooch punt. And this is picked up by the Bears.
I feel like you and I could be in our backyard with our dads right now. What did they always say when they were throwing us the ball? Look it all the way in. Make sure you secure it. That had the feeling of not happening there on that play, that he didn't have full control of the ball.
When that punt's coming in, I've never returned punts, but I would imagine it's tough to monitor those guys coming full steam ahead at you.
It really is. You try and get that peek to know where they are about whether you should fair catch it or not. But sometimes you just have to have a sense, a feeling, and just have to make sure, number one, though, you catch the ball and put it away. Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. This is Howard on second down, and he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. He'll pick up another first down with that run.
Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
All right, here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Only a yard of the pickup there, so it leaves him needing a conversion here on third and a tough 9. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You foresee incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on third down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Now it's Trubisky, and able to find Green. And they're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23.
Well, we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the number 1 receiver double covered, but how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
And now a first down following that long gain. From the red zone now, here's Trubisky on first down. That's complete right around the 8. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 12 more yards there and another first down. The fullback, and he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up second and goal. 1 quarter remains here in Week 16. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Soldier Field. It's Bears football, but they trail on the scoreboard as we get set to bring you the fourth quarter. Trying to punch it in with Howard. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
And this offense on third down today, not getting the job done at all. A very poor 1 for 10. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. Now it's Trubisky. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. Matt Milano. He's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Likely the play of the game here, trailing in the final quarter and going for it on 4th and goal.
Green 39! Green 39!
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown.
4th and goal, and they found a way to throw it in the end zone for a touchdown.
And these defenses, they just like 3 downs, get off the field. But here they had to go 4, couldn't get it done.
A lot of the time, you're looking up and saying, okay, if I hold them for 3, at worst, I give up a field goal attempt. When they go for it, sometimes it really affects the defense because maybe they're not mentally prepared to go that 4th down.
And no sweat, he puts it through, and we are tied here in the 4th. A 10-play drive that time, and it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Out come the Bills as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you're impressed, don't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if
I'm
not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games? Look, everyone's talking about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadruple. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. That one 28 yards on the ground.
At halftime, you had to feel like the defense had to be in a good position. They had to feel good about themselves. They'd had this guy boxed in all game long, but after that run, that might be the breakthrough that he's looking for. Now they may have some difficulty dealing with him the rest of today.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Now they'll run with Lewis. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42.
Not much happening there on first down.
Thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Now they'll throw with Taylor. And an alley to run. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. On first down, it's Taylor. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
On second down, Taylor. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. Give him 7 on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. The Bills on 3rd down. They've converted a 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 11.
Here we go. 38.
From the shotgun, it's Taylor. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Jonathan Bullard in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Colton Schmidt now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. But he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And this one's going to be touchdown right at about the 35-yard line. Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing. When we talk with people about what we think the most important quality for an NFL quarterback to possess, what do people usually say?
Arm strength. He showed the arm strength there.
Yeah, pretty good bullet pass he threw, but he wasn't accurate, was he? No. Listen, you like mobility, but accuracy, first and foremost, is what a quarterback needs. He didn't possess it on that play.
Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. Trubisky now to throw on 3rd down. He's got his man here. It's Green. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Space to run past the 20. An excellent pickup at 34 yards. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. On 1st and goal, Howard. And this is not going to do it as he stopped at the 2-yard line. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal.
They're right there at the 1. No gain, but don't let that stop you. Line back up and keep going at them. If I'm them, I'm thinking about going at it 4 straight times.
Now Trubisky to throw on second. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Jordan Howard, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bears have broken the tie.
Did you see them hold up 4 fingers at the start of the 4th quarter?
They were ready.
They were definitely ready. They may or may not have done that, but they certainly have played that way. The 4th quarter has belonged to them, and now the lead belongs to them as well.
Santos now to add the PAT. And they will take a 7-point lead now. So that one a 66-yard drive. And the end result is a Bears touchdown. Santos out now. He'll kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And here come the Bills. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
On 1st and 10, it's Taylor. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll make it 2nd down.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes that's quite a surprise to guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
Here we go.
Now Taylor to throw on 2nd down. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. They face a critical 3rd down now, needing a score here in the late going. Around 2 minutes to go, and if the D can hold them, that'll end this one.
We always think about the offense attacking. In this case, I'm looking for the defense to do the same.
On 3rd down, Taylor. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
It's another big shot dodge there defensively. Now they're just one more incompletion away from salting away this victory, and I know this feeling. They're almost giddy, but they have to stay focused and locked in. They can make one big mistake and throw it all away.
Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down. They'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Bears are going to get the football back, and they're going to get it in great field position. Well, certainly not the way that they were hoping that possession would end, failing to convert on 4th.
And now they've got to make sure that they keep their poise, they keep their confidence. Just because it didn't work once doesn't mean if they get that same situation later that they shouldn't go for it again. The defense feels great. With the offense, they can't be despondent.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. go with Howard again. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Let's see if they can convert here on 3rd and 3. Here's Trubisky. He gets it to Brown. Good play. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards, a good run there, and now 2nd and goal. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
Call it a gain of 2 as they're knocking on the door now. 3rd and goal.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score one touchdown,
you're 2.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got one, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
The win for the Bears just around the corner. They go down to a knee. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. A great come-from-behind victory in this one, Charles. And really the difference, obviously, was that 4th quarter. They dominated.
And it has to start with believing that you can make that comeback. Because we've been in games before. We've done games where you just look at one team and realize they have no chance of making it back. Not in the one we just saw here. They did it, and they did it well.
So for Chicago, their hopes of a 500 season stay alive as they move to 7-8 now on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the Minnesota Vikings come to town. Meanwhile, for Buffalo, their playoff hopes take a big hit as they fall to 8-7. And they will be at home next week to take on the Miami Dolphins. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The Bears get the win at home as we say so long from Soldier Field.